Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Iyun with Benzion. Today's daf is Nazir daf Chavches, number 28. I want to talk about the Mishnah on Chavches and Aleph. Mishnah says, Nizrak echem min adam min yachal lahafer. At what point, we learn in Mishnah Chavdal that a husband can be made for his wife's naziros. At what point can he no longer be made for his wife's naziros? He can't abrogate his wife's naziros. So the Tanakhama says, once you threw the blood of one of the three karbanos at the end of the 30-day period, or end of, let's say, a 100-day period of naziros, it's over now. So once he threw one of the karbanos blood, so she already can start drinking wine. So the naziros is over. The only reason he can mayfair, the only reason a husband is allowed to be made for his wife's naziros is because either it's Iyun nefesh or bein el bein. We learn at the end of Mizachas Nadarim. They only allowed him to make for certain nadarim. Naziris, right? Part of Naziris is that she is ma'ana herself. She calls herself pan. She can't drink wine. That's Iyun nefesh. That's definitely something that a husband can be made for. Once the blood of one of the animals is thrown on the mizbeach, she can drink wine already. So there's no basis to allow him to be made for the Naziris. Once you shech the animals, you didn't throw the blood, you can't be made for it. We learned the Gemara Akiva was talking about the Rabbanan, really no problem because she still can't drink wine. Technically, the Raisa he could be made for it. The Mishnah continues. That's only talking about where she finished her Naziris, 30 days or however long the Naziris was. Betara, she didn't become a Tmeya, she finished it, she was mashlam her Naziris. She completed it. Let's say she comes in Nazira and she comes in contact on day 15 with corpse tumor, right? He could be made for her, even though she's bringing karbanos, right? And they threw the blood on his beach, he could. It's pretty obvious, right? The whole reason he can make for her any time in the middle of Naziris is because his wife abstained from wine, and that's Iyun nefesh. Here also, she has to restart a new counting of 30 days or however long the Nazir she promised was, so she still can't drink wine. So he could always, even after she brought the Kamanot, even if she shaved her head, he could still be Mefer. Rabbi Meir says, even if she completed a Betara, and they brought the Karbanos, right? They were Zorek the Dam, one of the animals on the Mizbeach, he can still be Mefer, even though she can drink wine, not because Beinah Lebeina, not because of Iyun nefesh for the wine. She can drink wine now because after you bring the karbanos, she has to shave her head, and he doesn't want a wife who has her head shaved. She's not attractive to anymore. That's something I would assume it's called beino lebeino, which according to the way we paskin, I think Rabbi Yossi says in Masech Nadarim, we paskin Rabbi Yossi that beino lebeino, right? Things that affect the marriage between them, the bedroom, the intimacy between them, and part of that is having a woman who has hair. Men like a woman who has hair. They don't. That's why the Hasidim tell the woman not to shave their head, so the men shouldn't be attracted so much to the wives. That's what I believe. Some say no, it's because the mikvah they're going to have chatzitza in their hair, but I believe the real reason the Hasidim a lot of the Hasidic sects tell the women to shave their heads is because of the sex, Hasidic sex. Say the same word, but because they shouldn't enjoy the bedroom now. I shouldn't joke about these things. Serious, Gemara. Now, I want to talk today about this Mishnah. The Mishnah seems to indicate that when she becomes Tmeya, the reason he's Mayfair is because of the wine, of Nivul. The Gemara says she can't drink wine. Iyun nefesh, she becomes disgusting. A woman who can't participate in drinking with everybody else. Drinking wine. Everyone's sitting down having steak, nice Merlot wine. She can't drink the wine. That's embarrassing for the husband. And that's the reason. Now, at the end of the Mishnah, we find that Batara, Rameir says, even because, not because of the wine, a different reason, because of shaving the head. Now, why didn't, if Rameir holds the reason of shaving the head is important enough, why don't we say it also by Tigalachas Tuma, right? Why isn't this Machlokas, Chum and Rameir also recorded when, because also when you come to Meya, you also have to shave your head, right? You also have to shave your head. So this machlokas already could have been stated, not just b'glachas hatara, also b'glachas hatuma, right? He could be mayfair before she shaves her, after the blood is thrown on the karbanos of the tuma, and she goes to Meya, she has to bring 3 karbanos. Before she shaves her head, he could be mayfair on the premise she's shaving her head. So obviously, Rameir agrees in that case. That's not a good reason. It's only because the Mishnah says, because of the Nivul, because she has to continue not abstaining from wine. So I want to give a different reason to explain the different reasons. The galachas for tuma, when you shave your head for the tuma, is different fundamentally than the galachas of the tara. When you're shaving your head at the end of the completion, this is your spitara. And the difference is that when you shave your head with tuma, that is not the point of that shaving her head is not to embarrass the woman. It's just because Naziris needs gidul para. It says you have to grow your hair for at least 30 days. Now, it could be you're talking about a woman who's a Nazira. She pledged for 2 years to be Nazira, or for 30 days. Nonetheless, you need a 30-day period. That's why she has to shave her head and start a new 30-day period. She should have a gidul para. So therefore, it's not to embarrass her over there. So in that case, I believe Rameir would not say that you could make for the Naziris on account of I don't want a woman who shaved her head, because there it's not so embarrassing to the husband, because everyone knows the reason she's shaving her head is um is is because she needs to have a 30-day period in Naziris where she grows new hair. So that right is you need a 30-day period of growth of hair, gidul para. However, I believe when you complete your Naziris, the reason you shave your head is nothing to do. It's part of the kapara over there. There's part of the kapara. When you become tame, the shaving your head is really technical. However, when you complete your tara, shaving your head, right? You don't need to grow your hair again anymore. The reason you shave your head is part of the kapara. It's part of the process of kapara that it's embarrassing to you. It's embarrassing. People with bald heads. Certainly, if you're a woman and your head is bald, you walk around with a bald head. And also for men, it's very embarrassing to either be balding or to be bald. It's embarrassing for men. The normal way of people is to have hair. People make jokes their hair is going gray, their hair is balding, but at the end of the day, it's very embarrassing for people, and that's part of the kapara. We learn it's a sin taken the Naziris usually, so you have to shave your head as part of the kapara. It's embarrassing. So according to Rameir says there you can say yev galachas, right? This is something, even though I said it's Zvarm Shebena Lebena, right, that it affects him, but it's only something where it's going to be embarrassing. It's going to be embarrassing to where the point of the shaving the head is to embarrass, right? If his wife has to shave her head for technicality, as she needs to, right? So the husband could potentially put up with that and could say she's growing her hair, for the Naziris and whatever. But when it's to embarrass her, there's more, to say someone is balding, right? It's potentially embarrassing. But if I was able to regrow my hair, right? If everyone knew in the world I'm regrowing my hair, right? I'm bald right now, but I went for treatment and the hair is going to regrow in 2 to 6 in a month or 2 months. So you're not going to be so embarrassed about that. However, if the whole point of the shaving of the head is to embarrass the woman, even though the hair will grow back potentially on her head, but it's to embarrass her. So that's something which irks and bothers the husband. And he's embarrassed, not just outside of his wife, seeing his wife, people seeing his wife bald, but also for him it's embarrassing, and it hurts the relationship between the husband and wife when he's embarrassed. Not only is he not attractive, but it's also the added component of it's embarrassing to the husband. It's embarrassing to the husband, then it's varim shebena lebena, and therefore it's something which affects their marriage, because it's not just looks bad, but it's also embarrassing that his wife shaved her head, because she did something wrong, right? It's a punishment, it's an embarrassment, and that's something which really not just, the added component, not just it's physically unattractive, it's also emotionally unattractive, and that's where the husband has the right to be Mayfair, according to Rameir. According to the Rabbanan, they all agree with principle of Rameir. They just say that she can wear a panach, she can wear a wig, and Rameir says you can't wear a wig because it gets sweaty. So that's really the difference. However, when it comes to Tilachas Hatuma, when she's Tmeya, so therefore it's not just for embarrassment. So even though technically maybe she's unattractive to the husband, but at the end of the day, there's not that emotional aspect of unattractiveness. The emotional aspect of unattractiveness is maybe more serious and more and weighs more on the husband's mind than the actual physical unattractiveness. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.